Giving excessive value to materials is actually a modern trend. 100 years ago, the idea about materials were opposite. People relied mainly on the beauty of form, and if materials were insufficient, they would settle for simple plaster without using stone on the facades of large buildings. But today's considerable part of architecture involves the use of materials. Of course, materials are essential for construction and significant for the consolidation of language. Glass, steel, concrete, or brick convey messages about buildings. However, unlike contemporary ideas, Appartement Spectral conveys its message through the use of light and completely overshadows the materials. The apartment is designed in a simple and neutral expression, without color or particular detail, annihilating any architectural expressiveness or narrative to leave only the logic of composition generated by light. Paris's intangible but impressive small flat. That is very abstract of Appartement Spectral. I am Backline, the founder of Beat, and I am going to talk about my personal thoughts about Appartement Spectral. French architectural firm BETILLON/DORVAL-BORY has created the Appartement Spectral. This 20 square meters contemporary apartment in Paris was designed with an emphasis on lighting. Due to a lack of natural light, the implementation of artificial lighting systems was carefully studied. Thus, the case of low-pressure sodium lamps preferred in this project. This system is extremely popular because of its particularly high efficiency, and it is used for the illumination of cities along the streets, roads, and highways. Its characteristic color temperature gives this particular orangey shade to flat's nocturnal urban environment. However, these lamps have the lowest CRI, close to zero. This means that the light is monochromatic and cannot render any other color. Moreover, the CRI of a light describes its ability to reflect accurate color of a surface. However, a light with high CRI close to 100 can render the colors properly, while a low CRI is synonymous with loss of color range, so a disappearance of colors. In the project, the first phase consisted of a division of program elements according on their spectral needs. Which users need a good color rendering, which spaces can be content with a very low color rendering. This first classification generates a hierarchy of space. On one side, the kitchen, the living room, where distinguishing colors is required. On the other hand, the bed and the shower, where monochromatic light suffices. This bipolarity between high and low CRI becomes the crucial element of space composition. Lighting became a lot more than just an illuminator in Appartement Spectral. It becomes a mood setter, a symbol of a specific emotion the architect is trying to convey. Indirect neutral color lighting becomes a floater and making the space seem lighter in weight, whereas orange light manipulates the space's temperature, creating the illusion that the users are walking into an intense, overheated place. Moreover, warm lighting fixtures are often used in spaces to create a cozy atmosphere, whereas neutral and cool white light boost people's energy and productivity. Holding two separate light sources, a simple 2-meter high wall divides the studio and generates this composition. Thanks to the wall, flat circulation becomes a subtle interplay of spaces. The spaces are well defined and yet flowing gently into each other, as if in a perfect sequence, as they should exactly be. This provides an ambience to this project missing in many of today's architecture. The dividing barrier defines the living area and kitchen from the sleeping area and bathroom. For the larger area, 7 fluorescent tubes are tasked to light the way, with its colder bluish glow. In the private area in the corner, it's up to a warmer glow to fill the space with 2 low-pressure sodium lamps, aka SOCs, the same technology used on street lighting. Like most of the contemporary project, while seeking the purity in modernity, BETILLON DORVAL-BORY is found a solution in inevitably rendered in white all the spaces. Relieved of superfluous decorations, Parisian flat became associated with the predominant use of white surfaces to highlight the volumetric composition. The white color feels fresh and does a marvelous job infusing amplitude to a narrow space, whilst not losing sight of a bold conceptual statement. Also, white-colored architecture is understood as straightforward, clear, and sincere. Moreover, the elegance of its monochrome palette lies in its simplicity, offering an effortlessly stylish look that complements design approach. Also, swinging the space to feel open and uncluttered while allowing the room's architectural details and light to take center stage. Additionally, white tones are known for their grounding and comforting effect, offering an atmosphere of stability amid busy Paris life. Using the intangible to create space yields unexpected uses of the architecture. The best example is probably, except from its specialties, light usage in the project. In the Appartement Spectral, the light of significant intensity, or light that comes from a single source and falls in the same direction, best reveals forms and textures. Like a campfire lit on a dark night creates a cave of light surrounded by walls of darkness. Those who remain in the light of the fire experience the comforting feeling of being together in the same room. From this, we can draw the following conclusion. BETILLON DORVAL-BORY did not use intense light for creating an effect of openness rather than closeness. Also, in the home's open plan layout, we can notice that the partitions do not extend all the way to the ceiling, leaving space for openings at the top. This not only gives the room a sense of openness, but also allows additional light to enter. Considering all its features, the biggest feature that attracted me to this project was the effect of the SOX lamps are unusual and daring for a residential project, since it annuls and reduces every color down to a monochromatic variation. In this case, the minimalism sensibility isn't limited to adornment-free interior design, but to simplify the visual perception of each guest as well. Sometimes, to reach authentic results, it's necessary to sacrifice common sense.